My Destined 1, Tensura x Arifureta by Void Kane. Ch.3 status. Currently all the students were at the training camp. They woke up early, had breakfast, and were introduced to the head knight Meld Loggins, who would be training them from now on. Meld handed each of the students a transparent plate measuring 12 × 7 centimeters. The head knight began his explanation. Okay, everyone received one of these plaques? It's called a status card. It is the most reliable of identity cards. As long as you have one, you will not be in danger even if you get lost. Any questions? Seeing that everyone understood, he continued. We'll be buddies from now on, so you don't need to use honorifics with me or with the other knights. This was a good thing for the students. They didn't like to be treated too politely, and Meld seemed to have realized this. Spill a drop of blood in the magic circle next to the plaque, and then you will be registered as the owner of the plaque. And once the words, "show status," are spoken, you will be able to see your own status. That is the power of one of the divine artifacts. Kuki asked about the unfamiliar words. The other students also had confused expressions. They are powerful tools that cannot be recreated by modern means. Legends say they were created by God during the ancient era. The status plate is the only one that can be recreated. Which is great, because it is a great ID card that we distribute to the general public. The students nodded, showing that they understood, and then made ugly faces when their fingers were pierced by needles. Hajime did the same, and when the magic circle glowed, it showed the statuses. Name: Nagumo Hajime. Age: 17 years old. Class: Synergist. Blessings: Crest of the Storm. Level: 1 Strength, 10 Vitality, 10 Stamina, 10 Agility, 10 Magic Power, 10 Magic Resistance, 10 Abilities: Transmutation, Language Comprehension. The students were thinking, it looks like a video game, as they analyzed their statuses. The students were thinking, it looks like a video game, as they analyzed their statuses. I will explain about your statuses. First, the level. It will increase when your other statuses increase. The maximum level is 100 for humans, but no one has ever reached this level. Can think of level as a means to judge a person's potential. Training will naturally increase your status, and artifacts will also increase it. You will have access to the artifacts later. For now, let's train to increase your status. Apparently the level increased when your other statuses increased, and not the other way around as in the video games. Meld continued talking. Next to class, it is intertwined with ability. Some classes can be unmatched and others not so much. There are also some classes that are rare and some that are common. Then he asked the students to show their status. That's bad, Rimuru thought. He looked at the statuses and he realized that his was extremely above average, meaning that this artifact can measure his real strength. Seal-san, can you fake my statuses? You don't want to stop time then? Rimuru found it strange that Seal said he needed more time and made a suggestion, but Seal answered him. Warning is not possible. What? What do you mean it's not possible? The time flow of this universe is different from the time flow of our universe, and so are the space-time laws. Therefore the space-time ability of Void God Azathoth is unusable. So I can't teleport too. Correct. That's bad. Hey wait, that time we were being summoned, why didn't you go back in time? At that moment the master's body was already in contact with the time stream of this universe. Really? Yes. Then why the delay in answering? She took her time again. Seal-san, you're not making this up just to not say you wanted to come on an adventure in another universe, are you? Of course not. Rimuru was almost sure he was being tricked, but he knew Seal wouldn't do anything to hurt him, so he just let it go. Okay, let's ignore it and get to the more pressing problem, my statuses. Analysis completed. Starting forgery, completed. Phew. Rimuru turned off the thought acceleration and listened to Meld continue his explanation. Normal people at level 1 have their statuses around 10 points, but you must have much higher numbers. Huh? My statuses are all 10 points, aren't we supposed to be cheated? Hajime thought, but when he looked around he saw everyone talking and bragging about their statuses. Is it just me? Hajime lamented internally. After that, the first to present his status card was Kuki. Name: Amanogawa Kuki. Age: 17 years old. Class: Hero. Level: 1 Strength, 100 Vitality, 100 Stamina, 100 Agility, 100 Magic Power. 100 magic resistance. 100 abilities aptitude with all elements. Resistance to all elements. Fencing. Physical resistance. Teleportation. Herculean strength. High-speed magical recovery. Presence detection. Magic detection. Overcome threshold. Language comprehension. That's the definition of cheating. Who? A real hero. Level 1 and already has 3 digits, also comes to scare the number of skills. Sounds very reliable. After those words Kuki scratched his head shyly. By the way, the commander's level was 62 and his statuses were around 300. However, Kuki was only level 1 and had 1/3 of his strength. Kuki was really special. Meld was all smiles looking at the students' statuses, and then when Hajime brought him his status board, Meld gave a confused groan and then he slapped the status board a few times. Maybe he thought it was defective. After realizing that the plate wasn't broken, Meld said, "Ah, as I should say, synergist represents a crafting profession. Plus it's very convenient for forging weapons and armor." Of course the manga bullies were not going to miss this opportunity. As he laughed falsely, Hayama shouted, "Hey Nagumo, did you take a non-combatant class? How is a craftsman going to fight? Meld-san, is that class rare?" "Well, no, all the craftsmen in the kingdom have this class." "Hey, how are you going to fight like that, Nagumo?" Meld replied, and Hayama seemed to have enjoyed having another opportunity to mock Hajime. Hajime gave a wry smile and said, "How will I know if I don't try? Oh, let's see your statuses then." Hayama's gang joined him. They were the kind of lowlifes who preyed on the weak. If you looked around you would see many people with disgruntled expressions. Puhahaha. What's this? It's completely standard. Ha 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 ha, he must be weaker than a child. Kaori angrily approached the students who were mocking Hajime, but before she could reach, another person arrived angrily was Aiko. "What are you laughing at? I won't let you continue this. Give back Nagumo-kun's status plate." They reluctantly handed over the status plate. Aiko then tried to cheer Hajime up. "Nagumo-kun, look, don't worry, I'm also a non-combatant, you don't have to worry about being the only one in this situation." She showed the status board. Name, Hatayama Aiko, age, 25 years old. Class. Farmer level. 1 strength. 5 vitality. 10 stamina. 10 agility. 5 magic power. 100 magic resistance. 10 abilities. Soil management. Ground restoration. Long-range restoration. Plant evaluation. Fertilizer creation. Self-harvesting. Fertilizing operation. Farm improvement. Language comprehension. Hajime stared at the sign without saying anything. Nagumo, what's the matter? It's true that her class was a non-combatant, but her magic was as strong as Kuki and she had several abilities. So even though she was a non-combatant, she was still much stronger than Hajime. But Aiko was confused by Hajime's reaction. That was the final blow, sensei. Anyway, that made Hajime's confidence drop, but not as much as the next event. Captain Meld pretended to cough to attract attention. Glances were directed at him and, "So someone else is missing? You with the blue hair in the back there can come, you're all that's missing." Rimuru seemed reluctant to hand over the plate, but he handed it over anyway. Hajime noticed that he was secretly looking at him. Gloop. Meld swallowed dryly. He was staring perplexed at the status plate while doing the same thing he did with Hajime's, tapping it and putting it in the light to see it better. When they saw Meld's reaction, the students thought, will the two brothers be useless? But Meld's reaction was not for that. In fact, it was quite the opposite, because name, Nagumo Rimuru, age, 17, class, Chaos Creator, blessings, Crest of the Storm. Level 1 strength, 600 vitality, 600 resistance, 600 agility, 1200 magic power, 1500 magic resistance, 1500 abilities. Information King Akashic Records. Void God Azathoth. Harvest Lord Shub Niggurath. Lord of the Storms Veldora. Locked. Lord of Val Uriel. Wrathful King Satanel. So I had Rimuru's primary ultimate skill, but take note, this is not all his ultimate skills, since some of them are hidden, like Creation Lord Asura Mazda. Mana Materialization. Manipulation of all elements. corner nullification, magic circle nullification, fencing, max level, resistance to poisons, resistance to magic attacks, resistance to physical attacks, resistance to spiritual attacks, limiter release, balance breaker. That was the plate that Seal rated for Rimuru. Seal didn't have as much time, so the plate was still well above average. Well, that's Meld-san. What happened? Meld-san, are you okay? Meld was in a cold sweat and didn't move a muscle. His reaction was normal, since this boy in front of him was the strongest person in the kingdom. Not only that, but he was at level 1, so he could become extremely powerful. What concerned him is that some of his ability had a unique name on it, and there's also a blessing on the two brothers. It's my first time seeing a status board to have a blessing category, Meld said to himself. The students were worried when they saw Meld with a white face and questioned him. Seeing people like this, Meld pulled himself together and said, "No, I'm fine, I just thought I couldn't be surprised anymore after the hero, but that boy is really strong." Meld pointed to Rimuru, who whistled and looked up at the sky as if to say, "I don't know anything." Shizuku spied Rimuru's status plate and let out a surprised groan. "Wow, Rimuru-kun is really strong. Isn't this status a complete op?" said by Kaori. After that, everyone was so curious to see the status plate that had caused these reactions that they forgot about Hajime's statuses.